The stars look so mesmerizing.
Indeed, my friend.
You know, whenever I imagine how big and vast this universe is, I cannot cease to admire how powerful God is.
You know, since you brought this up, I wanted to talk with you about something that has been coming into my head for a while. I know you're into these things and I'm sure you can help.
Sure, I'm all ears.
Okay, the question goes as follows. Can God create a rock he cannot lift? Or create a door he cannot open? I mean, if God is all powerful, then he should be capable of doing anything. But if he can create such a thing, then he would have made something that limits his own abilities, and we will fall into the same problem if we assume that he couldn't create such a thing. Hence, all the powerful attribute will seem to be pointless. Right?
Hmm, I see where the problem lies. Well, don't be that annoyed, my good friend. You have met your first paradox.
Sorry, my first what?
Well, a paradox is a statement that although it may seem to have a valid premise or structure, it results in an illogical conclusion or contradiction. For example, let's analyze the following sentence which says, "This statement is false." Well, if you can see, if the statement was really false, then this whole sentence will be true, which will make it false. But if it was false, then the statement will be true, which makes it false, and so on and so forth.
It's like looping in an infinite cycle without reaching an end.
Exactly. The premises may seem to be true, but the structure and wording of the statement itself are what give you this illogical and self-contradicting conclusion. But the life paradox is a whole story for another day.
Okay, so what's wrong with my question then?
The contradiction lies in the definition of God itself. First, we are assuming that God is omnipotent, meaning that he is capable of doing anything. He's all-powerful. Now, your question is saying that is there a thing that could make an absolute capable deity incapable? Do you see the problem now?
I guess it's like I'm saying, can an unstoppable force exist along with an immovable object? They cannot exist at the same time.
Exactly. Each one of the two definitions is implying the impossibility of the existence of the other. Either God exists or the rock exists. And in your paradox, you are assuming the possibility of the existence of both concepts at the same time.
But doesn't this mean that God is confined with the laws of logic? I mean, let's reform the question to be, can God create something that breaks the laws of logic, like creating a thing its parts larger than the whole, for example?
So, in your opinion, for an unstoppable force to deserve that attribute, then it should also be capable of moving immovable objects?
Yes, God was all powerful, you know.
Well, let's redefine omnipotence then as the ability to do everything, whether it's logical or illogical. Then the answer to the question will be yes, God can create a rock he cannot lift, but then he will be able to lift it.
But it's illogical.
Precisely, because we have defined omnipotence as the ability to do anything, whether it's logical or illogical. Then God will be always capable, even beyond the realms of logic, and hence he will be able to lift the rock even if it seems illogical.
You mean God will then be able to lift the rock even if it's logically impossible to happen? Seems a bit mind-boggling to me.
Of course it is. You see, all of our thoughts and philosophy use only one tool to try to reach the truth. This tool is logic, and if you decide to let go of it, then you are demolishing the pillars of a very tall tower and you are still expecting it to stand still.
Wow, can you believe that this whole talk only started by looking at the stars?
Yeah, and it's still not post midnight yet.
Let's just return to the wonderful view.